What's happening, y'all? My name's Nick, and I'm a licensed architect in the US, more specifically, currently in Colorado. And today's tutorial, we'll make it quick. We're going to do a quick review of Revit 2026 and some of the new features involved. In a following video, we'll cover even more features, but for now, we're just going to do a brief overview of some of the basic yet important features of Revit 2026. Revit 2026 came out in spring of 2025, and that's usually how it works with Revit. They release the newest, like they release Revit 2026 in spring of 2025, and same thing with Revit 2027 in spring of 2026, and so forth is kind of how it works. The year before is when they release it, that spring prior. But without further ado, let's get into some of the new features with Revit 2026. Some awesome features to cover. You're going to love some of these. You might hate some of them, but probably you're going to love most of them because they're just better than Revit 2025. So again, Revit 2026 is what I have open. I'm using Imperial today, and let's get into this. So first, I want to show you one that's very obvious. I have a couple sample projects open. When you open Revit 2026, you're going to see first that the project browser over here on the left, or wherever you have it located. Some people like it on the right, some people like it on a different monitor. I like mine on the left. And so you're going to see right away that everything's very different here and very straightforward also, and well organized, much better than it used to be. You're going to love it. So if you click on the house, it's going to look just like it used to with everything showing. Views, legends, schedules, sheets, everything's here on the left still. However, if you click the next tab over, everything's now organized into these nicely laid out tabs for you. So the second one over is views, and then legends, schedules, sheets. You got families all organized. If you want to look up a specific duct family, you can do that. You just type in the search bar as you're within that tab. If you want to look up a certain link, usually there's several consultant links. This is a sample project with no links, so there's nothing showing here. But if I want to find a specific view, like I don't know, a parking view, I can type parking here while I have the tab of views open, and it shows me all the views that have parking in the title. This is really just a time saver and just helps navigate the project a lot better than it used to be, where you had to, before you couldn't just search all the families within one search box. So this is just very streamlined and easy to use. Thank you, Revit, very much for doing this. That is the updated project browser. Next, we're going to get into the manage links dialog. I'm not going to show you too much on this, but I just typed ML because that's my quick hit for manage links. It's under here, manage, if you don't know where that is. Hopefully you do, if you're on a big project at least. So manage links, you can, under type, it shows you all the different types of links that you can find in the project. Say I want to only search PDFs and then search the name of a certain PDF, I can do that. They're all listed down here below that are in them, all 7 PDFs it shows that are in the project. Same thing with images. We have 9 images currently in this project. This is just a quick sample project. Same thing with, Revit or CAD formats, all that. So that is manage links. I'm not going to get too into manage links. I think the other thing is this, you can collapse this sidebar or reopen it. When you click on one of them, say I click on this PDF, it will show on that sidebar a little sample. It'll show you the resolution of that PDF and the path. Okay, pretty straightforward with managed links, but nicer than it used to be. And thank you, Revit, again for improving our lives. All right, let's get into the next thing. I'm going to show you some auto align tools with text, and then the in Canvas spell check that's new to Revit. So let's go into a different project here. I just have an elevation open with some text, some labels. Let's actually purposely mess these up a little bit just to show you how this feature works, okay? Say these are all kind of misaligned in the project a little bit, and you just don't like, somehow they got misaligned. Some idiot did it, or it just whatever happened, and you want to fix it. So when you click on one of these text boxes, you will see that this all kind of looks the same as it did in the previous version of Revit. However, when you click, control click and click on two of these, you'll see that you have these new tools here in the Revit bar above. So we have align elements right, align elements left. Those are the two you will probably use the most. You can align them center, to the middle, to the bottom, to the top. And once you click on three or more, these options, distribute vertically and distribute horizontally, will pop up as well for you to use. So that is pretty neat. Let's do one of these. So I'm going to highlight all this. All these labels are now clicked. I'm going to align them all to the right. And what it's going to do is it's going to grab whatever one is furthest out of the text boxes you have selected. It's going to align right to the furthest right element, and it's going to align right to this edge of this text box here. Let's do that now, and you'll see how that works. So I'm going to click align elements right. That one didn't shift. Everything else shifted to the right to align perfectly on the edge there. It's not going to move. As you saw, probably it's not going to move your arrows, which is also very convenient, of course. If it shifted all the arrows, that would be very frustrating where they're selecting currently. So that's a pretty nice tool. One other thing I want to show you, when you have all these selected, you can distribute vertically. Say, you want them all nicely. Say you have some are kind of overlapping or way too close together, right? And you want to fix that. I'm just showing you this as an example. These are too tight. These are too tight. They need to be spread and spaced. You just click them all and distribute vertically. It's going to, look at that, just perfectly spaced out and super nice. So those are some great features with the auto align tools that are new to Revit 2026. And again, thank you Revit for that. One other thing, you can do an ABC spell check on the text boxes you have selected, and just kind of change to whatever. But I kind of like this feature, which is new to Revit 2026. Say I have skylight misspelled, right? I forgot the L. Skyite window. All I need to do is go within this text box, and it will highlight whatever I have misspelled with an underline in red. All I do is right click on that, and the first option, skylight, is the correct option. However, if I don't have the option I want here shown in these first three, more suggestions, and I can find it here. You can add to your dictionary if you have a new word that you're using frequently and you're tired of it underlining it in red. You can teach, kind of teach Revit, add that to your dictionary as well. For now, I'm just going to change that. Click on skylight, click out, and that is fixed. Okay. So these are now all aligned to the right and spread out nicely. All right. That is the in-canvas spell check and the auto align tool with Revit. One other thing I want to show you, well, a couple other things actually. One is the title block scale override. So let's open this project back up again with a sheet we have open. And this is just a sheet that with nothing filled out here really. But under scale, it usually says as indicated. And before with Revit, you couldn't really change that text. It was just it always said as indicated if you had multiple different scales on your sheet. If you have all the same scale, then it's fine. It will show that scale. However, if you have multiple different, it will just auto go to as indicated. You can change that though now. So all you got to do is click the sheet once, go to edit type here on the right, and under this graphics scale override multiple values, you can type whatever you want that to say. So say I want it to say scale see view for scale. See, I like it. I like as indicated. I think that's straightforward and easy, but some people don't. And so say we want to say see view for scale. I don't know, something like that. You can do that. You can type the text there and then hit OK. That's going to automatically update that under that last row there. However, it looks like it's off. See how that text box is kind of, it's obviously too big. So let's just fix that real quick. All you need to do to fix that, if you don't know, is select the sheet, go to Edit Family, go down here, find that text box. The reason it is not fitting is, or stretching down below, is because this is too narrow. So let's just widen this to basically as wide as we can take it without hitting scale here on the left. So that looks pretty good. So I'll widen that text box. I'm going to load back into the project. This is the project we are on, site base. Hit OK. Overwrite the existing. This is usually the option you want to click here when editing a family. However, sometimes you want to overwrite the existing version and its parameter values. That you'll kind of learn. We're not going to get into that today, but I'm going to click that top option and look at that. It fits nicely. See view for scale. And you know, whatever you want to do. If you want to change that back, you can just go back to edit type. Again, you have to have the sheet selected, edit type, and take that back out, zero that out, hit OK, and that's back to as indicated, which is the default. So that's a nice little tool, small thing. One other thing is save view positions. So this is the last thing we're going to cover in this video, is the save view positions. If I have a view, I have several views on this sheet. If I click on the view, we now have these different options up here. And it may be overwhelming at first. However, all you have to do is say I like this exact position, or say I want to move this over here to the edge here. Let me grab this north arrow as well. Say I want to shift all this over to the right. Say I want that kind of aligned right there. All right. Again, this is not exact. I just wanted to show you how this works. So I click on the view. I don't click into the view, I just click it once, and then I go to save position. I'm going to call this, let's call this position 1. Okay, I'm going to type that, hit OK. That saves that view position, saves that view, actually doesn't let you move it now. I tried to click and drag that over. Says, it gives me a warning, view placement is controlled by the assigned save position. Just click out of that warning. That's okay, you're going to get that. So to take that off, if you no longer want this view on that save position, all you do is go here and click none. Okay, so now I can drag that again. I'm going to Control Z. I'm going to go back here to save position, lock that back into position 1, and I'm going to let's say I like the position of this view as well. I'm going to again save position, call this position 2. Again, this is just a sample showing you. And that position's now saved to position 2. Again, it will not let me, Revit won't let me drag that view. It's locked in place. Now, say I have those two save positions, which they're all going to show here as options when you click the down arrow. I can edit the position and then resave it, or I can manage positions. Say I want to start over with my positions. All I do is go, again, you have to have one of the views selected to do all this, and click on so select a view, click manage positions. All I'm going to do is click on, I'm not sure if it's going to let me click on all. What is this here? But basically we just click and delete and delete. And that's kind of like clearing the cache, if you will, starting over with your positions. Now you have no options here, but you can resave as you'd like. That's kind of how all that works. It shows the view name down here. And that is the new kind of viewport 2026 management and save positions, edit positions, all that. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit that subscribe or like button, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks.